Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Mark from Right Line Trading, and I'm just going to give it another 60 seconds, and then we're going to start. There's a lot of traders just coming into the room. Okay, we're ready to go. I thank you all for giving me your time. And what we're going to be discussing today is our money flow tracker. Now, it's a self-directed auto trader. I'm going to show you exactly what that means, but it combines mathematical modeling with artificial intelligence to produce really superlative results. And I'm going to go through all of the curves, and I have a lot of data to show you. So I'm going to be taking a lot of this right off of my platform, and some of it is going to be in slide form. I just want to give you a little bit of a look at under the hood and how the system is actually powered. Now, just quickly, this disclaimer that all signals and trading opportunities that we provide are for demonstration and educational purposes only. Everybody understands that trading involves substantial risk, and it should be understood that a person can lose a substantial amount of money. Carefully consider your financial position prior to trading. Never risk more than you can afford to lose, and you may want to consult a financial advisor prior to trading. Now, if you're here, it's likely you have a problem making money. Now, you may do exceedingly well on your own, trading on a discretionary basis also, and you may be here looking for a way to make money hands-free. There's a lot of problems that traders have, and I have 500 traders in my live trading room. And one of the problems is they lack consistency. They make a lot of money on a Monday or a Tuesday, and then they give it all back on a Wednesday. They trade with indicators that lag price and not lead price. They use a trade methodology that has not been mathematically proven to work, both in back testing and forward testing. The trade methodology that this system is based on, we've been using for over 10 years successfully. And then one of the most important components of trading that is very rarely discussed is post-entry management. Now, just speaking on behalf of myself, I get a lot of great entries. I call the trades out in advance in the live trading room. And then once you enter, how you manage the trade is really of tremendous consequences. You need to understand how to maximize the reward on the trade and milk it for the most money that you can on the least risk possible. And that is very, very tough to do. The tendency of all of us, including myself, is as I start to accumulate more and more profit on a trade, is to start tightening the stop, because I don't want to give anything back and I want to lock in what I've earned. And if that happens, what you're going to wind up doing is snuffing the trade out, because it's going to make a very, very small retracement or drop a big wick, hit your stop, and then continue to move forward. And you're going to miss out on 30, 40, or 50 ticks of movement. So post-trade management, which I personally have never seen discussed in anybody's, in any webinar of any kind, is really, really a critical component to trading. And if you go over your trades in a given week and see how much money you leave on the table, it is very, very likely to be an appreciable amount. That is really another key to really putting a zip in your performance curve and pushing up your equity curve much, much higher. And this is what the auto trader is going to do, and I'm going to show you exactly how it does it. Now, it took me 8 years of study in the field of applied mathematics. I'm an Ivy League trained mathematician to engineer this system. Now, it's just, like I said, it's a self-directed auto trader system. I'm going to show you what I mean by self-directed, and it can radically change your trading performance and grow your trading account. And so as we've gone live with it, I wouldn't be sending out these invitations if we haven't had tremendous success with the system. It's something that you've never seen before. It is totally unique. When I show you the type of platform that it trades off of, I think you're going to be very surprised, because we actually engineered the candles, which are new and also unique. Now, we have traders that use it every morning to create huge success. They're in my live trading room. They all pop me the amount of profit that's created off the system, and I bring my auto over and I show exactly how much money the system creates on each of our strategies every single session. Now, one thing it doesn't do is use any of the stuff that's been out there for the last 100 years. Price action, MACD, Elliott wave, divergence signals, which are top calling and bottom calling signals, price patterns, Fibonacci and Gann, are useless indicators and tools to predict the movement of price on the right edge of the chart. If you study price mechanics, you will come to understand why they are absolutely irrelevant in predicting how price moves off the right edge. Do you think Fibonacci? Now, I studied Fibonacci and his work and Fibonacci transformations as part of my training. I know what Fibonacci was trying to do as a mathematician. He was very successful with Fibonacci transformations. His Fibonacci numbers are remarkable when they're manipulated, but one thing he was not trying to do was describe support and resistance levels in the markets. They don't. Price patterns, which are so commonly thrown at you, they work sometimes, but they fail often. And you cannot use any kind of analysis that does that. Now, every time somebody provides a system or a trade methodology that includes price patterns, they never put in the sensitivity, the specificity, or the positive predictive value of the pattern, i.e., they're going to show you a bunch of winners, but they don't tell you how many times that same price pattern fails. So if you do that analysis, you're going to see that most price patterns fail quite often, and they fail so often that they're not going to provide you with any kind of reasonable equity curve. This stuff has been out there for 100 years, and as far as I'm concerned, and our trading system is concerned, for the last 10 years, I've been sitting in this chair trading every single morning, along with all the traders in my live trading room. we have never traded any of this stuff. And I believe that's the reason why we're consistently successful traders. Now, it's really incumbent upon the system to define chop. Now, chop cannot be defined on a single time frame. You can't look at a trading chart and say, well, the market is in chaos, disorder, and disarray, which we define as chop, with any kind of accuracy if it's coming off your trading chart. So everything that we do is based on what we call a triple screen analysis. We use the 2 higher multiple time frames to analyze data, project it onto the trading chart, and that's what tells us what price is going to do on our chart. That's exactly what the auto trader does. Now, when those 2 higher time frames are not in alignment and they're moving in opposite directions, and I'm sure a lot of you use a higher time frame if you're trading a time-based chart to set a direction for yourself. You know that if you're trading, say, a 5-minute and you look at a 1 hour, that your trades that you take in the direction of the 1 hour are going to have a higher probability of succeeding than the ones that you take against the 1 hour. So we always look at a triple screen analysis, and I'm going to go over exactly what it is. Now, when all these time frames align, what we're really trying to do is have the automated system determine when institutional money is driving price. I'm going to show you how we do that, because institutional money is really the entity that is in control of the markets. And I just want to make sure I didn't include the slide because I wanted this part of it to be as brief as I could make it, because I have so much data to show you. But what we're trying to do is harness the direction of institutional money. And we all know that institutions have the markets by the throat. Now, if an institution moves in and, say, wants to take crude oil to the upside, it's going up. If they want to sell it off, it's going down. And we as small retail traders have no say in the future direction of price. So we need to create a system that allows us to, with tremendous precision, determine when institutional money is moved in, has eliminated chop, is creating an alignment in our 2 higher multiple charts, looking at multiple metrics. And when they do, that's when the auto trader is going to fire. And when big institutional money drives price up, the auto trader is going to take the trade long. When it drives price short, the auto is going to take trades to the downside. It's going to completely self-manage the trade and try to milk it for as much money as it can as the trade evolves to the downside. Now, we're going to run over a ton of small retail traders caught in the counter trend direction, trading all the junk that I showed you before that have been busting traders out of the market for the last 100 years. Now, there are 3 things that are needed to create trading success with an automated system. One is a competitive edge over all other traders, which is what we need to leverage. The tools need to spot this edge. Now, you need etched in stone algos that the system follows. Now, I'm going to show you the algos. Even though they're encoded in the system, we have a tremendous ability to tweak them, and it's one of the very unique features about the system, we really use it to our advantage. Now, these algorithms are going to allow us to eliminate losers, stop over trading, and also to try and milk the trade for almost the entire length of the move. We're never going to get in at the top and out at the bottom, but we want to get in as close to the top as we can and out as close to the bottom as we can. In other words, we want to get the meat of the trade. And if we can get 80% of the move, well, we're really cooking with gas. Now, I want everyone to know when I'm done, I'm going to answer any question. So if you have any, just type it into the chat box, and I'll be happy to answer it. I just don't want to, continually stop and look over to the chat. I just want to get through all the material, and then I'll answer any questions that you have. Now, this is why I believe this is the most advanced auto trader ever created, and there are hundreds of them out there. Now, 90%, 99% of them work sometimes, but what happens is that market conditions change. A market that's a high volatility, high volume market, which was what I saw today when we traded. Actually, it wasn't that high volume, I have to tell you. Some of the markets were not high volume. Yesterday, it was amazingly high volume and high volatility. But they give way to environments which are low volatility and low volume. So when market conditions change, usually auto trader systems that have fixed algorithms, that's when they begin to falter and fail. So you need a system that's going to be able to handle every type of market environment, all the way from high volatility, high volume, to markedly low volatility and low volume. You need to protect your capital. That's the #1 goal of any system, is to make sure that you don't lose any money first, and then that your equity curve is really nice. And the problem is these systems don't have the configurability to adapt to all these market conditions. Now I'm going to show you how this is a dual-tiered modular system to create both environmental extremes: high volatility, high volume, low volatility, low volume, and anything in between. Now, an auto trader system really provides you with a tremendous advantage. Now, I believe that ultimately there's not going to be any discretionary trading anymore. Almost all the big institutions all do algorithmic trading. There's no, there's the number of actual human traders sitting in a trade desk are diminishing. Mutual funds and hedge funds still have traders who trade options, primarily sitting at a desk doing trading for them. But for the most part, these positions are being usurped by auto trading systems. And eventually they are going to rule the market if they don't rule them already. And that's going to be the same for us. I mean, we can still trade on a discretionary basis. Nothing is ever going to prevent us from doing that. But automated systems are going to replace us. That's because they don't overthink or hesitate on a perfect trade. I mean, they're emotionless. The stop placement is precise and predetermined by the system. The targets are predetermined by the system. So there's no more cutting your winners short because of fear or leaving that stop too wide at a greed. So you give back a lot of your profit when the trade ultimately peters out and retraces. And what you want to do is you want to let your runners run and cut your losers short. And that's inherently our personality is sort of, after a million years of evolution, geared to do just the opposite. It is geared to take our profit quick and go to a combination of fear and greed, to let those losers just evolve on the hope that they're going to turn around and provide us with money. So we're going to have no more mismanaged trades. And it really is emotions that undo along with obviously flawed trade methodologies. But even a perfect trade methodology can be totally mismanaged if you don't do it dispassionately and you use a lot of emotion. And that's a very, very hard thing to deal with. I mean, after 10 years of trading every single day in a live trading room, I still make mistakes. And that's what an auto trader will never do. Now, I just want to show you really quickly when I say that we don't trade off of any data from the trading chart. I know many of you are not familiar with right line trading, don't understand our system, and I just want to give you, an understanding of it. So now the system is going to be trading a Unorenco-based system. I mean, that's what the algorithms are set to trade. But I just want to give you an overview of our entire trade methodology. And that is, we take no data from the trading chart and then take that data, put it into our indicator analysis, and believe that that indicator analysis is ever going to give us any future predictive value off the right edge of the chart. I'm telling you, that's what 98 to 99% of traders do. That's what's offered to them, and that's what these phony gurus are shoving down our throats, and it just doesn't work. What you have to do is use the data from the two higher multiple charts, take the data from those two, project it into your indicators, and let the indicator analysis be created by data off of these two charts. We're trading a 2-minute, we look at the 6-minute and the 18-minute. 377 tick, 610, 987, 5 range, 5 Renko, 8 range, 13 range. 2510 uni goes to an 8 range and 13. The key here, though, is that as far as the auto trader system is concerned, in which you do not have the discretion to change the markets. I mean, they're optimized on a market by market basis, and we intend to leverage this and add multiple additional markets to the ones we've already optimized. And I'll show you the ones that we're operational on right now. And all the settings are fixed, but none of the data that we use comes off the trading chart. It comes off the two higher multiple charts. That data is utilized by the indicators, and it provides us with tremendous forward-looking ability in determining where price is going to go. It is not a lagging assessment. It is a powerful leading assessment. Now I'm going to show you how we engineer just one of the many indicators and the many algos that run this system. And I want to show you what our triple screen assessment of the gear momentum does. This is really the only force that I'm going to show you really in great detail how we leverage to provide the system with such a powerful analysis. First of all, you have to understand what momentum is. Now, in the markets, the momentum is nothing about acceleration or deceleration in speed, and that's what it is in real life. If you're in a car, you hit the gas, you accelerate in price. You accelerate in speed. The rate in change of speed is positive, and then momentum is positive. Hit the brake, you decelerate, your rate in change of speed diminishes, and momentum diminishes. But in the markets, momentum has nothing to do with speed. And momentum is what every single oscillator measures. Now, it does it based on its own formula and its own analysis, but they all measure momentum. Now, whoops, wrong direction. Now, momentum in the markets is measuring the acceleration, but not of price, but of buying pressure. And it does so by analyzing, this is what all oscillators do, not our unique oscillator, but every oscillator. It measures the relationship between the close of the candle and the high of the candle. And as the close of the candle sequentially approaches the high, tighter and tighter and tighter, as the move evolves to the upside, you know that you have big institutional money accelerating price to the upside. And on a down move, when the close of the candle sequentially approaches the low, you know that you have big institutional money accelerating price to the downside. So it's really not anything to do with speed. It's the sequential intensification of buying pressure or selling pressure. And the market can be moving slowly, but as long as big institutional money is driving price, the high is going to, the close is going to approach the high or the low, whether it's a long move or a short move. That is what we look at. Now, here are a bunch of oscillators. Here's the Chaikin, here's the RSI, here's stochastic, here's Williams K, here's ours. Our Laguerre has been completely modified, and the reason it is totally different than any other oscillator is that all the other oscillators do two jobs. One is to look for divergence, and the other is to track momentum. And the divergence component of the formula totally warps the percent K line that it creates, and it doesn't as accurately assess momentum. Since we know that we can never mathematically call a top or a bottom because it's big institutional money that create the tops and the bottoms, and we don't know when institutional money is going to step aside, we couldn't care less about divergence, and we don't have the system looking for any. So we created an indicator that is lacking the divergence component of its assessment. Now, here's the Laguerre, and we call it the modified Laguerre because it's a very different Laguerre than is out there in standard form. It's going to rise. Here it locks at 100, stays above the 80 line throughout the move. So we know that as price evolves to the upside, sequentially the close is approaching the high on average as the price evolves up, as big institutional money accelerates price to the upside. Now, the important thing here is we know that because this is data from our trading chart, it has no future predictive value at all. It's a very important assessment, but it's not going to tell us how price is going to move off the right edge of the chart. I mean, we can't break mathematical law, no matter how good our Laguerre is. So we have to do a triple screen analysis. So here's our trading chart. The speed of the chart's irrelevant. We look at the two higher multiple charts. These are the percent K lines. They're both heading up. So we know that big institutional money has created this unique alignment where both higher multiple charts are heading up and accelerating to the upside. And the only direction the auto trader system will trade is long. This is not an entry signal. This is a directional bias created by the triple screen analysis. Now that creates this scenario. When both percent K lines are sloping up on the two higher multiple charts, we know that big institutional money is accelerating price to the upside, and the only direction that we can trade is long. The bulls are in control. When both percent K lines are sloping down on the two higher multiples, we know that big institutional money is accelerating price to the downside. The auto will only trade short. And when both percent K lines are not in agreement, we know that we're in control of the market. And when we, as small retail traders, are in control, we just create chop and we create disorder, disarray, and chaos. Again, defined as chop. That the automated system will never take a trade in that environment. Now, we have to combine the two. The chart Laguerre and the the triple screen assessment have to both be green. So we know that price is accelerating to the upside as evidenced by our chart Laguerre and our triple screen assessment. Now we've developed an assessment that tells us how price is going to move off the right edge with tremendous precision. If this is green on the right edge, the next candle we see is likely to be an up candle. Now, there's a seminal moment in the market that the auto system leverages, and that's when our Laguerre on our trading chart is locked at the 100 line, and that lock is in the same direction as the as a triple screen assessment. When that happens, these dots are created, and the system understands that price is accelerating to the upside with the most force possible. And this is when it's most likely to look for a trade entry. And you've got tremendous future predictive value in that entry. You're leveraging the data off of 3 charts. In this case, we do use the trading chart, understanding it has no future predictive value, but we have the triple screen analysis in which our chart has to be trading in the same direction. And when it locks at the 100 line, you know that price is accelerating to the upside with the most force possible. So we know that big institutional money is really pushing price here hard to the upside. You must have a dot on the entry or the system will not take a trade. It's not looking for a lot of trades, it's looking for a lot of winners. I can tell you right now, it's trading with a lot of specificity, not a lot of sensitivity. Specificity is the mathematical way of saying it's looking to avoid every loser, not look to get into every potential winner. Now, most auto traders are looking to get into every potential winner. I'm not going to go over the math formula for it. I studied it ad nauseum in my training. The bottom line is that's sort of your mindset. Do you want to get into every potential winner? You're going to get sucked into lots of losers. Your goal as a discretionary trader, when you're sitting there with the mouse, is to avoid every potential loser. That's the goal of the auto. The goal of the auto is to not take a trade unless it's really low-hanging fruit and it's really, really a low-risk, potentially high reward trade. It's going to take it really close to mean price so that trade has an opportunity to evolve to the upside big time. Now, we also do a triple screen assessment of order flow. I'm not going to go into the detail, tremendous detail on that, because I don't want to make this sort of an indicator by indicator webinar. If you want to know more information, we've got 27 educational videos amounting to probably about 50 hours that will show you indicator by indicator what they all do. Order flow is incredibly important. You want to know on a triple screen analysis when the market has a tremendous overabundance of buyers or a tremendous overabundance of sellers. The system does the analysis, and obviously when there's a tremendous overabundance of buyers, it's going to look for a long trade. When there's a tremendous overabundance of sellers, it's going to look for a short trade. And then when it vacillates back and forth, buyers, sellers, it knows that no one's in control of the market except us, and it's going to stand down. And our last is an AI component that has really 28 individual components. I'm going to show these to you. The most important is our correlative market system. I'm not really going to go into much detail on it. Again, I'm going to refer you to the educational videos. You can learn everything about the system that you want. If you want those video tutorials. This is extremely powerful. I have to tell you. Now, what it comprises is our neural net, and what it's telling you is that we believe that every financial instrument is linked, and that no single instrument moves in isolation. And we know that to be true. I mean, why one market goes up and the other goes down in the course of a given day is because big institutions rotate their money from sector to sector based on risk. If they believe that risk is on, they're going to buy equities across the board. And you're going to see a rise in the NASDAQ, Dow, E-mini Russell, and in a tremendous number of stocks. If risk is off, they're going to move money to gold. They're going to move money to treasury bonds, treasury notes. maybe to the forex currency pairs. Bottom line is that every financial instrument is linked. Nothing moves in isolation, and that's what our AI component, which comprises 28 separate individual components, is really telling us, and it's analyzing. Now, the triple screen alignment and trend of our trading instrument is another thing that's critical. You want, if this system is going to take a long on, say, crude oil has to be aligned long on the triple screen. If it's going to take the NASDAQ short, the NASDAQ's got to be short on the triple screen. Even that has to be aligned. Remember, it's going to look at every relevant parameter that has a bearing or is a force on the future direction of price. And obviously, the simple direction based on trend and market structure of the two higher multiple charts are extremely relevant. Now, I haven't even shown you what market structure is, and nobody ever teaches it. They're always teaching you price patterns because they're easy and they don't work. Market structure is a fundamental component to trading that is really analyzed heavily by the system. I mean, you come aboard and I will teach you how market structure works. I mean, market structure is created by big institutional money. It's really the foundation of a building that you erect a skyscraper on. And if you don't understand market structure, I don't think that you can be a successful trader. We leverage it very heavily in the live trading room every single morning. And it really is the foundation for everything that we do. Now, I'm going to show you some equity curves. These are all back-tested curves. Now, here is the Russell aggressive curve. And this achieved $10,000 of profit over 90 days. These are back-tested. Now, here's the Russell aggressive, 14,000 and then a tail off over 90 days. Here's the NASDAQ aggressive, over $17,000 in 90 days. Here's the NASDAQ conservative, $24,000. Now, you may ask me which is going to do better, the aggressive or the conservative. It all depends upon market conditions. In a low volatility, low volume environment, the conservative component is going to do well outperform the aggressive. In the reverse situation, the aggressive is going to well outperform the conservative. It's market conditions that dictate which of the two strategies or components of the algo system that are going to provide you with a superior equity curve. It's never fixed. Now, here's crude aggressive, just $2,000. Not a lot of money, but a positive curve. And here's the crude conservative, over $12,000. Now, here's gold conservative, $32,000. And here's the gold aggressive, $12,000. Now, this is all back-tested information, and it gave us the ability to launch the system live. Now, I just wanted to show you some of the information. Now, if you come aboard, you're going to get a lifetime access to our Discord chat. And in the Discord chat are all the traders that currently own the auto. Now, the only traders I've allowed to own it are traders who own our software system. And, you know, just to select limited basis because it was new. And they just chatted there all day. Now, as we release it little by little, obviously the Discord chat's going to get bigger and bigger. This is an equity curve posted by a Discord chat member. Now, this person got $10,216 and 40 cents worth of profit. This is what they're trading. Now, you see what they're doing is they're creating multiple variations of our system. because the system is configurable, they're looking at it and a NASDAQ aggressive 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the Discord is really a place where I'm telling you, these really, really smart traders hang out and sit and tweak some of the variables that we have that are open. And that's what makes the system so powerful. We've got a lot of people in there who really know what the heck they're doing, just changing numbers a little bit. And that's exactly what's generating that equity curve. Now, this is another slide right off the Discord chat, right here. There's the NASDAQ 1, 2, 3, and 4, 595 off NASDAQ 4, 4,090 off NASDAQ 2, 3,130 off NASDAQ 3, and 2,065 off of NASDAQ 1. They're all slightly different modifications. I didn't want to hide that. I mean, the reason we leave the system open, I personally don't recommend you touch it. But if you go into the Discord chat, you're going to have a lot of people in there who are talking about very minor modifications. And you can see the parameters they're looking at: 30, 30, 34, 50. I mean, I can't really tell what they're tweaking here, but obviously these are different strategies. Now here's somebody else. Now they put their live account in here, so I redacted that out because I didn't think it was fair to take someone out of the Discord chat and stick their account up when I give a webinar. They're all doing the same thing. It's sort of a collective effort, looking at 4 aggressive NASDAQ strategies that have been slightly tweaked. The key, though, is once they're tweaked, they're fixed. It's traded on an algorithmic basis, and the underlying methodology is fixed. And here you have 1,125, 5,035, 4,260, and 2,140. Great performance curves. These are live trades because this person was projecting their live account, which I had to remove. Now, this is just comments I pulled out of the Discord, and I don't even know who Blessed Profits is. Everybody takes their own little name, and we don't check, but we do look in Discord every single day to see what traders are saying. And believe me, we don't have any control over it. They could go in there and blow the system away and tell each other how lousy it is. But we've got right here, summary, NQ aggressive only 16,000. Now, I can't give you any more information than what is here in the Discord. I can't ask Blessed Profits, how did that happen? Over what time period? NQ conservative only 667, Russell only 999. That's right, crude and gold in the red. I can't tell you how that 16,000 was created. Somebody asks how many sessions or strategies did you have running for the 16,000? It's never really made clear. Did you stop it at some point? I'm showing 19,500 at 12.55 and only 98.80 at 4.15. And Blessed Profit says I let it run continuously. So we can go to more chat. This is another performance of a live. Actually, this is a sim test. This is not live. That's why I left it in. If the trader had it on sim, I want you to see it on sim. And what they're trading, they're on a rhythmic data feed. They're not projecting the markets, but they're getting 1890, 1580, 1560, and 1365. Now, we're going to go into a lot more detail. So I hope you can hold on. But I believe it's the most powerful self-directed auto trader available to the small retail trader. Now I'm gonna drop the slides, and I'm gonna show you some more data. First of all, let me show you the system. Now here's the system right off of NinjaTrader. Now it's only operational on Ninja. If you're interested in it, you're going to have to get a NinjaTrader platform. Now let's take a look at the crude conservative. And if we right click and we go to edit strategy, here are all the inputs that go in that you can modify or leave alone, which I recommend. Remember, Sergio in the office runs curves every 30 days. He does an assessment of all the markets and all the strategies, aggressive and conservative. And every 30 days, we're going to send out a new module for you to insert. So we're going to make the tweaks in the system. Now, it provides you with the times you wanted to trade, and it gives you the input for everything. Now, the thing that really protects you on the system, it has a volume trigger. So on the crude market, you have to turn 500 contracts per minute in order for the system to trigger. So if you leave it on at night when volume is really minimal, it will not trigger a trade. You also get to set a profit target and a loss limit. Let me get down to there, and I'll show that to you. See, there's the volume threshold. It's 400 contracts per minute. It's not turning that. The system will shut itself down. And it's, it's setting the MA diff, which is simply the way that we analyze overbought, oversold. And that's our way of analyzing standard deviations off a mean price. That's a true overbought, oversold signal. And obviously when this MA diff value is low, you're trading right off a mean. That's when you're going to get your big runners. And that's when the system is primed to trade. Trying to see here. I'm probably missing it. Let me see where the loss limit is set. There's the volume threshold. Hang on. It's right here. Here's your profit target. So you want to make $800 on the crude conservative. If it makes 800, it will shut itself off. If it loses 400, it will shut itself off. So you're not going to wind up, if you walk away, you're not going to wind up coming back and you're down $5,000. It will not take a trade in which the potential loss will eclipse that $400 mark. And it will not take a trade that eclipses the potential $800 profit target. So you're going to approach 800 and approach 400, then the system is going to shut itself down. And that's what you really want to do. It accumulates profits early in the morning. I mean, I'm trading it in the live trading, and you're going to join me there. And we're going to be constantly monitoring the auto system. And when we see that in its totality, it's got $2,000 or $3,000 of profit, I'm going to tell everyone to please shut their system down. Let's just lock in profit and walk away. Obviously, a lot of traders don't, but that's my recommendation. And so the system, though, has a lot of safeguards to protect you. And each one of these individual inputs can be tweaked. That's what traders are doing. And this is why we opened this code. We didn't have to make it available to anyone. We could have buried it, and we could have been the only ones that had access to it and gave you the updates every 30 days. But we wanted to make it available to you. So if you go into Discord along with 8 other people and they're all talking about making minor adjustments, you want to listen and you want to learn. And we're listening and learning by watching what's going on there every day. Every single system has its own set of parameters. Remember, the aggressive crude has got to be different than the conservative crude. And I'm not going to go over all the individual inputs, but obviously it's really key. And that's what makes it a more aggressive strategy. You're still going to set your profit target and your stop limit. I would make that the same across the board, because you don't know which is going to be the most successful strategy on any given day. If I had the ability to say, this is going to be a high volume, high volatility, this is going to be a low volume, low volatility prior to the open of the market, I would own half of the United States. Obviously, I don't, but there's a tremendous advantage to it when we're trading into holidays, and we're trading into Christmas, we're trading into New Year, we're trading into Easter, when we're trading into certain vacations, and during certain times, we're going to shut our aggressive strategies off across the board, anticipate a low volume, low volatility market environment, take a much more conservative approach to automated trading, and look to provide a nice solid equity curve. Maybe we'll miss some big winners off the aggressive, but who cares? What we're going to do is create a conservative trading environment when we trade into holidays and low volume environments. And there are times when we can predict it. And December is a rugged period when you can predict it. And believe me, between Christmas and New Year's, when you trade that week, you're gonna trade the conservative strategies across the board. But we're gonna give you all of that information. We're gonna give you our recommendations always, and all the information we can to make sure that you trade it profitably. I'm gonna close this up, and I'm gonna show you some more stuff. Now I want to show you the actual chart that the system trades. Now you can see it trades the NASDAQ, the Russell, crude, gold. No, it trades more than that. Hold on, let me take a look. It may just trade those three markets right now. It trades Bitcoin on a conservative and aggressive. It trades gold, it trades crude, it trades the Russell, and it trades the NASDAQ. We are going to be advancing it across multiple asset classes, which if you come aboard, you will get, when I show you the offer, you are not going to pay for additional modules. You come aboard on this offer, we go to another market, and we are going to go to multiple markets. You're going to get each individual module as an add-on that you will not pay us anything for. Now, here's the system, and here's how it looks. You can see it's very different than almost probably anything you've ever seen. What we really wanted to do was eliminate the candle body. We don't really care about the candle body. What we really want to do is just trade a series of wicks. The only time we care about the candle body is on a reversal candle. Here's the down, here's the up. But when we're in a trend, we don't care about the candle body. We only care about the wick. Only the system will not allow us to totally eliminate the wick. But you can see the system will drop huge wicks. And that's what we want to use to get us into a trade. Now, these are Bollinger Bands, but we're only using them for its standard deviational purpose. Otherwise, we couldn't care less about Bollinger Bands. They don't work. They have never worked, and we don't use them to trade. We simply want to know how many standard deviations we are off a mean price. That's all. It helps us if we take a trade that's really tight to mean. So you can see this is a very unique system, and this is what it uses to trade. So if you're in the trading room and you see me take a trade, the auto trader may not take it because it's looking at a slightly different chart. And it may take a trade that I don't trade because, again, it's looking at a slightly different chart. But if there's a big trend, hopefully I'm going to get in it and the auto is going to get in it. Now I'm going to show you a trade that we videoed just to show you how it works, really for no other reason. Now, this trade is going to move quick.
Order submitted. Order filled.
And you see the target's already preset, and they're preset. You have the ability to override the system. If you don't override the system, it's based on momentum. It's at 34 points. Now this made $570 on a two contract trade. You can see the exit right here. You can see the entry right here. It's a gorgeous trade. It went right through support. Once you're in, the system is engineered to ignore it as long as the trade is already profitable. You've locked in profit. That's how a trade evolves, and it evolves that fast. Now I'm going to show you one more thing. And get the video down. It's over here. I'm going to show you how it's performed since we went live. Since we went live, this is right off of my Ninja trade. We've created $19,199.50 worth of profit. Now, it's off of a lot of trades. It's crossed a lot of contracts, but this is an enormous amount of profit. Now, we went live on December 1st, and this is right through 113, which is actually tomorrow. If I dropped this to 112, this number would not change. This is the live trading system. So it's trading at about a 50% win rate, but the winners are usually much bigger than the losers. The losers are tiny compared to the winners. Now somewhere I have that data on the size of the winner versus the size of the loser, and you'll see that the winners are about 60 to 70% bigger than the losers. I don't know where that is. I'm not gonna fret over it, but this is our own live real-time profit, $19,199.55. Now let me tell you, we're just started on this system. Now I'm going to go back to the slides. Now, on those trades, the system generated about $500 in commissions. So you got to subtract that, obviously, from your profit. Let me just scroll down. Let me just make sure that number's right. Hold on 1 second here. I don't want to give you any inaccurate data. Total number of contracts. Okay, it actually, the commissions were actually closer to $3,000 in commissions. So it generated a significant number of commissions, but you're still looking at $19,000 in profit. Now, let me scroll all the way down to the bottom of the deck. I'm trying to be as transparent as I can. I'm trying to show you our trader, show you what traders are saying. And obviously the Discord is open for anybody to complain. You know, listen, this is my discussion about trading success and how it does equate to financial freedom with no pressure, no work from home, no boss, no commute. It's really all true, even though it's a cliche. This is a tremendously advantageous tool to use to help you trade. Now, in my opinion, it doesn't eliminate discretionary trading yet. And in the live trading room, I'm going to take trades on a discretionary basis. We make money almost every trading day. Yesterday, I made $1,375 in the trading room. Today, I was up $500 and made the huge cardinal mistake of hitting my profit target and then continuing to trade. I took a loser, then I had to take 3 winners in a row to break really back solidly into the green. That is a huge mistake. After 10 years, I should not make mistakes like that. Now, you can do nothing and continue on your current path. Now we're only going to release this in very limited numbers, and the offer that we make is a very unique one, and you're not going to see it again. And I'm going to show you what it is about the offer that's unique. So if you want a tool that in live trading, in back testing, has done tremendously well in release, has created a really, really stellar equity curve. I mean, now is your time to get it. Now, in terms of the support on the system in the office, I'm telling you, we're here to help you. Obviously, the Discord is going to be really important because, I mean, they're real smart traders in there, but we're always here. I mean, I'm here like 10 hours. 10, I'm probably here 16. I almost live here. I'm a solo dad and raise a kid on my own. Excuse me, I think I live in this place. But Rory's here, Sergio's here. We have 3 other people here. We will always support you on the system. You want it tweaked, you want it evaluated, you want to see if it's trading appropriately. Sergio is really a tech genius. He's got a master's degree in computer programming. The only way we could have engineered this system was him and I together. I mean, his programming obviously, brought my concepts to reality. So our support is, I think, is second to none. I mean, we're always here, and we're always going to be here to help you. Now, we're only going to be making 10 systems available, and I don't know when we're going to make another 10. And the reason is I want to make sure it doesn't affect liquidity. I want to make sure all 10 that we send out trade profitably. There's no reason why they shouldn't, but I want to make sure that everything goes perfect. And we're only going to release 10. And this is the offer. And this is an offer that we're not going to make again. It's $17.97, and it's a lifetime purchase. You're going to own this auto trader system. Now, the reason we call it self-directed is because you have the ability to modify it. You can open it up. It's got basically, it's almost like a human being with a zipper from the sternum to the waist, and you can tweak it. You can spend time in the Discord chat room if you like. There's always people in there, and they're always talking about their auto. And and if you want to find out how their performance is, you just talk to them because they are very, very nice people. We're never. I mean, I go in there occasionally, but I am right line trading. So if you see me in there, that's who I am. Now, as we add additional markets, you are going to get those markets for free. As we move forward, we're going to be adding multiple additional markets. We're going to sweep across the futures markets. We want to add on the 6E. We want to add on treasury bonds, treasury notes. We're also looking to add soybeans. We want to add multiple additional asset classes to leverage. They don't set up for a great trade, the system won't take them. If there's not sufficient volume, the system will stand down. You're going to get those additional asset or additional markets right now at no additional cost. You're going to get into the Discord chat room for a lifetime. Normally, it's $999 per year. And that Discord chat is going to get better and better as we populate the system with more and more traders. Now, we have a lot of traders in there who don't even own it. They just want to go in there to see what's going on. We'll give them a week pass and we'll let them go in and just kind of mosey around in there. And there's no problem with that. But the traders who have access are in there on a yearly pass. You're also going to come into my live training room. Now, in the live trading room, what I do is you're going to see the automated system on every single market accrue its profit in real time in the lower left-hand corner of my chart. First, you're going to see it as unrealized profit. Then when the trade closes, it will jump from the unrealized, this is right off the NinjaTrader dome. I'm sorry, not the dome, but the control panel. It's going to jump to realized profit. So you're going to be able to see in real time how the system is working. So by watching it, I can see if it accumulates a really significant amount of profit in the first hour, I'm going to yell to everybody to stop it, shut it down. If it's got $2,000 or $3,000 worth of profit, we're going to close it. We don't want to give any of it back. It's very difficult for us to take a loser, but it's going to happen. And it's going to happen when the market starts to chop and gives a lot of false signals. Nothing is totally foolproof. So when you accumulate a lot of profit, we're going to be monitoring all of that. Now the offer expires at midnight. There was over 275 people in the training room. In this presentation. I know these 10 will go. And if you're interested in the system, I kind of wouldn't sit on your hands. I'm telling you, I would not be offering it out if it didn't have a tremendous equity curve back tested and now going into its 7th week of forward testing. And I just believe it's going to get better and better and better, not weaker and weaker and weaker as we move across asset class to asset class. The other markets we want to leverage are the E-mini and the Dow. They set up for some terrific trades. We just chose markets with very high average true range to start with. Gold and crude can make huge moves. The NASDAQ and the Russell can make huge moves. So we decided to start with markets like that. Also, Bitcoin can make huge moves. You want to auto trade Bitcoin, you can auto trade Bitcoin. So it's really your call. I'm going to tell you in the morning, after maybe the first 15 minutes, whether I think we're going to go with the conservative or the aggressive, or just stay with both, because the market may alternate between high volume and low volume periods. The volume trigger will protect us anyway. If we really have a period where there's no volume and just the market just dies, the auto system will not take a trade. So we really got a lot of safety nets. It's there to protect our capital and run up nice profit. So let me answer any questions that there are. Let me try to get through all of them. Let me go to the start. Okay, hang on here. I'm at the top. Hey, Damon. Hey, LA. Hey, Dutchie. I need to leave in a few. This is recorded, and everybody who's in this seminar will get a copy of the recording. If there's something that you want to listen to, we don't play that. There'll be no recording available. Game. You will get a recording. Hey, Colin, how you doing? On AutoTrader, does their system see our stops and targets? It doesn't see ours, Colin. This trade's totally independent of what we do. Like what we do in the trading room on a discretionary basis, obviously, we're never going to get caught in the opposite directions. If the AutoTrader triggers a long trade on the NASDAQ, we're never going to try to take a short trade. We may not get that specific entry, but the auto can take a trade and we can take a trade on the same market almost simultaneously. If you want to prevent that, you're really going to have to watch that lower left-hand corner and see that a trade's been triggered, because you're going to see that unrealized profit start to roll, and you'll know you're in a trade on that market. It's just usually it's usually uncommon, but it does happen. Hey, Mitchell. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that, Mitchell. Michael, I'm sorry. And Jay, yes, we will. Hey, Tharif. Would it be possible to have a link to today's recording? We're going to send it out, so don't worry about that. Everybody's worried about that, but you will. Listen, that's what we're looking at. I mean, Tharif said every now and then it'll enter late in a trade, because Tharif has the system. And we're going to try to, we are trying to get it in as early as possible. That's why we're trading wicks and not trading candle bodies. It's so the wicks will pull us into the trade on a long trade. We're looking for a big short wick. On a short trade, we're looking for that big long wick, and it'll pull us into the trade, and we'll already be up when that candle closes. So we're doing our best, and we're constantly tweaking the system. Hey, Damien. So how many trades? You know what, Damien? It really depends on the market. I'll tell you. This morning, man, it was ranking trades like, you can hear them trigger, because I have the volume on my computer on, and you're going to hear NinjaTrader say, trade set, and then it will either say trade canceled, or it will say, it hit, and then it's going to say target filled or stop filled, and we are going to get losers. Obviously, it's not going to trade 100%. On some days, it's going to take 10 plus trades. The key is watch the equity curve. Once that equity curve starts to really rise, you may want to shut down the system. I mean, when I see it really off the chart, I'm going to tell you everyone to close it down. Let's just take that profit and walk home with it. I mean, yesterday it accrued, almost $3,000 in profit. And I told everyone to shut it down. Those who didn't, it finished up $2,300, gave back $700, because as the day progresses, the market tends to get choppier. Hey, Larry, this is not the same as the Compass, Larry. This is a completely unique platform. That's why I wanted to show it to you. The candle body formation, the way that it trades, the system thought processes, if you want to look at it, the cerebral cortex of the system are completely different. The core methodology, though, is the same. It's the triple screen analysis of multiple forces that move price off the right edge. We want to get into a defined trend on a tiny pullback early in the move. That's what the auto trader is designed to do. Eric, I just showed you live history. You just didn't give me a shot or a chance. I wanted to show that to you. Do you have live results? Well, you're asking me at 4:38, and so I know by now, Charles, that you've seen them. We have almost 7 weeks of live data, and if it wasn't running close to 20,000 in profit, I wouldn't be offering it out. And let me tell you, I promised this out to multiple traders. We held it back months until I was absolutely certain, based upon its performance on back testing, that we had a tremendously good shot of launching a system that was going to trade successfully. And everybody would call us, and actually they were beating on me in the live trading room. I mean, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I said, you just have to wait. And and we did. We really did our due diligence. And because I'm going to be trading it and we're all going to be sitting in the live trading room, I'm not throwing it to you and then not taking responsibility for it. I want to make sure it makes money. Backtesting on Ninja is way off. Listen, the way Sergio does the backtesting, Charles, he's pretty accurate. And the amount of backtesting that he's done is really remarkable. But now we've got forward tested data. I wouldn't have the gumption to stand in, to talk in front of anyone based solely off of back-tested data. I wanted to wait before I launched this, even in a limited number, until we had accumulated a significant amount of forward-tested live data. I wanted to feel comfortable with it, and I wanted to feel confident that since you're all going to be trading you're all going to be in my live trading room, and I have to answer to you, and I'm going to have to look at your profit, and you're going to be able to put it in, and I'm going to be able to read it, that you're going to be able to be happy with it, and you're going to be able to have a positive curve. Hey, Terry, that's the one thing, Terry, you can change. The number of positions or contracts that you trade is up to you, Terry. You come aboard and we're going to show you exactly where the inputs are. You can trade an unlimited number of contracts on the system. Now, what we do is I recommend, and this is always my thought process, is that your first target you take with a tiny number of contracts. That's your anchor. You anchor the trade with your first target because that's going to bring your stop way up and lock in profit. Then what you want is to have the majority of your contracts running for you. And that's where you accrue tremendous profit on the trade. You drop the anchor like a boat does, provide stability for the trade, bring the stop way up, lock it into the green, and then hope that trade just runs a mile. And if it does, that's where you accrue tremendous profit. Now, I only showed you a system that was trading 2 contracts. The anchor was dropped at 1 contract, and it only ran with 1. If I would have put it, if I would have showed you an equity curve where it dropped 1, where we had 1 contract, and then it ran on 3, that equity curve would have been astronomically bigger. But I didn't want to launch it live, risking a lot. So most traders are trading either 1 and run with 1 or run with 2. I would really recommend running with 2, and that's what I do in my trading room when I trade on a discretionary basis. Hey, Ed. Well, I did. As you know, Ed, I went on to show you live data, and I completely agree. We need that. Sure you can, Charles. You just talk to Sergio or Rory. Hey, Dan, do we need a separate server to run this on since I shut my computer down at night? You don't. I do recommend that you get a virtual private network just in case you're in an auto trade and your electricity goes off. That will ensure the integrity of your stops and targets if you're not sitting in front of your computer. That's all. But you do not need a separate server. Otherwise, it'll trade off the same server, Dan. Does this work on futures? See, the thing is, Dan, it only works on the markets we've optimized it for. You just can't have an auto trade. Listen, I mean, this is just a mathematical fact. Every market has its own signature, has its own average true range. It sort of has its own fingerprint. I mean, you take John Doe A and take a fingerprint of his thumb, and you take John Doe B and take a fingerprint of their thumb. They're not going to be the same. And those fingerprints create, unique price mechanics for each individual market. So there is no auto trader. If there is, it will never work. That you can just stick an asset class in, like, okay, I'm going to have a trade Forex, and I'm going to have it trade the pound dollar, and expect that system which has hundreds of inputs. Now we have created it so that about 150 are visible, but there's still a ton of them inside the system that are not. So we have to individually engineer the system for each market. That's one of the reasons why I think it trades profitably. And that's why I think it's a great deal, because you're going to get these individual markets. And we intend to go to Forex, for currency pair by currency pair. And we intend to go to stock by stock by stock. I mean, we want to leverage this system across as many asset classes and as many individual trading instruments as we can. And every time we do, you're going to get that additional one for free. It works overnight, Dan, because it's got a volume trigger. And when in the middle of the night, when crude is crossing 8 contracts a minute, gold is dead, the NASDAQ and Russell are dead, that volume trigger will not allow it to trade. So it is a safe instrument, it's a safe tool to trade. And I don't know another auto that has a volume trigger. And this one adheres to it really, really religiously. If it's not turning enough volume, it will not trade. Now we set the volume trigger, and that's another reason why you can't just roll it across multiple asset classes. Each one has different volume triggers. The Russell's 400, the NASDAQ's 500, crude and gold are 500. The E-mini, the E-mini is going to be 700 to 800 contracts per minute. Every different financial instrument is going to have a different volume trigger. It's going to have a different set of targets. We're going to engineer the trade to run because it's going to have a different average true range. Hey, Dwayne, can we have them running and a second chart? Yes, you can have them running at the same time, Dwayne. You absolutely can. And that's what I do. I have them both running at the same time, except I put my auto trading chart off to the side. I don't watch it because I have no really ultimate control over it. All I do is keep my eye on in the lower left-hand corner of my chart where my control center is, and I watch the equity curve. That's all. The discretionary trading that I do are the charts that I have up, and they're configured differently. But the core methodology of the way I trade and the way the auto trader trades is identical. Hey, Josh. It absolutely works with the micros, Josh. The micros have really pretty much the same average true range, the same fingerprint, and you can absolutely trade the micros off the system because we have traders who do. You can trade you can trade the Russell micros and you can trade the NASDAQ micros. Absolutely. You can trade gold micros and crude micros. And ultimately, we even want to go to the DAX. The DAX is a great market to trade at 2 a.m. in the morning Eastern. It pays you 12.5 euros a tick. That's a lot of loot, but it's pretty hard to be up at 2 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time. For me, it's impossible simply because I'm a single father and I raise a kid, and I just got too much responsibility. We haven't optimized it yet on the DAX, but let me tell you, it's our intention to do so, just like we want to do the 6E. Hey, Thomas, there will be recording. If anybody asks me again if there's a recording, you just know that there is. And if anyone asks me about live data, I'm not going to address it again because you know that I just showed you almost 7 weeks of live data. Like I said, I wouldn't even schedule this if we didn't have live data to show you. I would never look at an auto trader system that didn't have had not accumulated a live data result. We don't know it doesn't work on bonds and notes yet, Thomas. We will have it operational on there in the future. So that's up and coming. Definitely on bonds. Bonds get superlative trades. You're not going to get many, but at $31.25 a tick, it is a great market to trade. And it trades about 350,000 contracts per day. So it's a high volume liquid market. Treasury notes trades 1 million contracts a day. And it's $17 and change a tick. It's also, these are two very lucrative markets. And they have very similar fingerprints. So we're definitely going to go to them. Hey, Bob. You know, I don't even know, Bob. Let me mute the mic for a second and ask Rory. Bob, Rory's on the phone. I mean, somebody, I swear to you, someone's ordering the system. Oh, hold on. Bob, Rory just said it's called Discord. You're in, Bob. Rory just put you in. Okay? So no worries. Hey, Dan, on the RL Uni chart that is not regular Bollinger Bands, since it does not follow the latest price moves, then you know what, Dan, I would have to talk to Sergio. He engineered it. It's really based on standard deviations because we want to look at how many standard deviations off the mean it is. And I have no problem telling you what it is. I just can't get Sergio right now because I don't think, let me look at what time it is, because I think he went home. Yeah, see, he goes home at 5 o'clock and it's 5:26. So I really can't tell you, but if you send us an email, I'll be more than happy to reply to you with what it is. I mean, I want you to know everything that's on the chart and understand it completely. I don't want to hide anything. Hey, Larry. Larry, everybody who's trading it out there is trading a live account. When I showed you the Discord stuff, those were live values. The one chart, the one slide that I showed you that was on Sim, I left the Sim in there to show you that that was Sim. We want it to be very clear. The profit factor shows winners much bigger than losers. In fact, I don't know where the data is, but in every given day, now this doesn't necessarily mean anything, but the size of the biggest winner is many times larger than the size of the biggest loser. That also has to do with the number of winners and losers you have, obviously, but it's much, much larger. And the system is designed to limit your losers and let your winners run. So it does make sense, but obviously the winners are much bigger than the losers. It couldn't provide a positive equity curve if that wasn't the case. Hey, Dan, do we need to babysit the algo? You can turn it on and walk away as long as you have a virtual private network, Dan. I wouldn't walk away for a week or two. You could walk away for a whole day. I'm just telling you the way I feel about it. You know, I would keep my eye on it at the end of every training session, and you can monitor it remotely. Remember, you have go to webinar and you can log on to your own workspace. I know there's a way of doing it, but through a VPN, you can turn it on in the morning and walk away. Remember, it's got a safety net for you. If it loses X amount of dollars, it will shut itself down for you. If it makes a certain amount of money, it will shut itself down for you as well. That's what you determine. That's totally up to you. So it's got multiple safety nets along with the volume, so you really can. The only big thing, the only big concern if you're going to walk away is a loss of power, loss of electricity, a loss of your internet connection. I mean, we have Comcast business grade, which we pay a ton of money for, and it goes out once in a while, and we have no internet. Our phones go out, everything goes out. And if we lose that, Without a virtual private network, we would lose our stops and targets. So I believe you need it. It's very cheap. And Speedy Server is really, I mean, we recommend it, and it's really inexpensive. It's worth the price of the insurance. Hey, Charles, are we able to access the Discord channel? I am a right line trainer. Yes, Charles. I said we'll get you into the Discord. You have instructions on how to modify. Thomas, the reason we don't have instructions on how to modify is because there is no menu for modification. What the traders in Discord are doing are testing small tweaks in the system. I mean, I don't recommend you change a single value because we're going to update the system for you based on our own testing. So there really is no menu, and we don't want to give you a menu. In order to create a menu, you'd have to do your own analysis, and it's really complex. Now, if you want to go into Discord and listen to the guys and talk to them who are making these minor tweaks, you know, you're going to get access to that. But we don't recommend it. So, and there is no menu. As far as we're concerned, the system is optimized to the max. If traders are smart enough to find, you know, little manipulations that will make it better, my hat's off. And that's why we created the Discord, so you can go in and talk to other traders on the system, talk about the inputs, and get everybody else's feedback. I mean, we want it to be open. And that's why we created the Discord chat. That's why we put you in there for a lifetime. I mean, as long as you're on the system, you can go into the Discord. And people chat there all day. I mean, I would think they might have something else to do, but apparently a lot of traders don't. No negativity implied. I mean, they're just really dedicated. Hey, Patrick, can you send me the latest auto trader channels? I'll tell that to Rory, Patrick. Hey, Abby. Okay, no problem. Thank you, Abby. Okay. Jacqueline, there is no. What you would do if you already own the money flow tracker, you'll get the auto trader component at a major discount. It's not an upgrade or it's not. I'm going to tell you, it's not a free upgrade or free add-on. I mean, as a company, we have put in so much programming time into this system. If we gave it away for free, we go bankrupt. I mean, you're not going to hear another company say that, but that's just the truth. I mean, Sergio's been working on this thing for a year, and the guy has a master's degree in computer programming. I mean, there are very, very few companies like ours that have a full-time programmer with his kind of credentials. So you will get a huge discount if you own the money flow tracker already, but it can't be free. We just can't do it. But you will pay a really, really modest price, and that's for lifetime ownership, Jacqueline. Hey, Larry, how many months in live trading room? 3 months, Larry, in the live trading room. You know, that's worth $600 almost, actually more than that. After that, you know, you'll pay a reduced rate if you want to stay. My guess is you will want to stay, because most traders do stay, because my discretionary trading is really good, and we've been killing the markets, I'm telling you. I mean, we're up almost $2,000 this week already, and I mean, my sights are set on $3,000. I've been a customer for several years. Great system. Thank you, Scott. I really appreciate that. Hey, Donovan, how can I access the Discord? Well, Donovan, you have to come aboard. I mean, if you own the money flow tracker, we'll give you access. But if you don't have any of our software, it comes with the purchase. I mean that's how we have to do it. Because it's I mean, there's a lot of good data in there, and I really only want owners of the money flow tracker, even without the auto or the money flow or the auto, to be in the Discord. But you're going to be in there for good, and we'll give you access. Rory will approve you, and you can just go in anytime you want. This is Ron Sasser. How much for 2 licenses? Charles, you know what? I don't even know. Hold on, let me ask Rory. Okay, for 2 licenses, Charles, you're gonna have to talk to Rory. Because essentially we're giving you 2 autos with 2 licenses. And you talk to Rory, and I mean, he will be very, very gentle, believe me. I mean, he's he's the nicest guy. I don't know if you know him personally, but he really is. Hey, Dan, we have plans to move it to TradeStation and MetaTrader 4. Let me tell you, Dan, I'm being really honest with you. NinjaTrader is a really simple platform to learn. I was on TradeStation for years, and when I moved to NinjaTrader, the learning curve is astronomically fast. Rory will sit with you. I will sit with you. It's going to take us quite a while to get on TradeStation. If you really like the system, I mean, we will help you tremendously. We even have a preferred broker guy who'll give you unbelievable commissions that will trounce the commissions you get at TradeStation if you want to trade futures. So, I mean, I would seriously consider it. It will not in any way hurt you. And if you want to take your discretionary trading off a TradeStation, you're welcome to do that. But I'm a big TradeStation fan, but I also really, really like Ninja, and I traded TradeStation for a long time. Hey, Irvin, like I said, you can absolutely trade the micros. This system doesn't know when you put that NQ in, whether it's a full contract or a micro contract. You put in MNQ or NQ, it handles it exactly the same way. We don't even have a name for it yet, Leroy. I mean, what we're calling it really is our money flow tracker auto trader system, because it's really based off the money flow tracker logic, and it's on NinjaTrader. The compass is on Thinkorswim, although that uses the same logic as well. I mean, this is a NinjaTrader system, so in order to avoid confusion, the compass is really the our money flow tracker version on Thinkorswim. So consider the money flow tracker and the compass equivalent, and then added on to the money flow tracker is this automated component, which uses very similar logic, and it's and it's operational on NinjaTrader. So the compass is on Thinkorswim. Hey, Richard. Oh, thank you, Richard. I can only say how very impressed. And I really appreciate that, Richard, a lot. Hi, Kai. This auto trader assumes a certain level prerequisite knowledge. Can you go over that? Let me tell you, Kai, we're going to teach you how to operate the system. We're going to go over and teach you what each input means, even though I don't think you should change any of them. I think you should be an informed trader, and we have extensive videos that tell you what every single input that you can open up means. So you really don't have to have much knowledge. If you want to trade on if you want to trade on a discretionary basis, that's a little bit different. But the system is going to do that all for you. But I still want you to know what every value in every single input that you can open up means. And that's provided to you in videos. And if the videos aren't clear, I'll go through every input with you myself. They're really pretty straightforward. although some of them I think are a little bit out of the box. The videos do handle them, but again, I will work with you on that. Knowing what each input value means is important in the Discord, because you're going to have people in the Discord talking about, changing this value, that value, the MA diff, things like that, number of contracts, profit targets. There's a whole bunch of different parameters you can change if you want to. And so you really should know what each input in there means, so that you can sort of understand what they're saying, and also throw in your own 2 cents. This is not the compass, Leroy. The compass is our thinkorswim version of our flagship system. We have two core systems: the money flow tracker for NinjaTrader 8 and the compass for thinkorswim. Those are not automated. Neither one of them are. What we're releasing now is an automated version of our money flow tracker, but we have to call it something else to avoid confusion. I haven't figured out a name for it yet, but who cares? Maybe I'll call it a Volvo. The important thing is it provides you with a positive equity curve. And I just want you to understand the difference. Hey, Colin. You mean the big players. I'm not sure what you mean, Colin, because it's out of context. And I had so many questions. I'm sorry, Colin. That's nice to see you here too, Colin. I have the system, but not the trading room. Yes, you do, Dale. Just talk to Rory, send us an email, we'll get you in. What Unorenco size does the auto use? Well, here's the thing, Donovan. I can tell you, I'm not going to hide it. Let me show it to you. I probably shouldn't show it in just a webinar, but I'll be happy to show it to you. It uses an 8-140, and the open offset determines the size of the candle body. Now, it will not take a 0 input. You put in 0 and hit OK, it will still go right back to 1. Essentially, we don't care about the candle body. So those are the inputs for the NASDAQ candle. Obviously, on each market, the inputs are going to be unique on the Unorenco size. But those are the NASDAQ inputs. And I'll be happy to share with you the inputs on all of them. I just don't want to make a mistake by giving them to you off the top of my head. You send me an email, I'll send you the inputs back. Hey, Tharif. No, my pleasure, my pleasure. Hey, Alnor. Hey, how you doing, Alnor? I went to school at the University of Rochester for a year, and I went to Toronto a few times. It's really beautiful. It's really, what a clean city. Now, that's many, many years ago. And boy, is it cold up there. Holy God. It snowed every day in Rochester. Is this the same as no, the NDT is our trade execution platform. That's where you can buy it up close, sell it down close, use it to trail the trade. That's a discretionary trading tool. This eliminates the need for the NDT because the system triggers the entries on a self-directed series of inputs. Okay, Alnor? You don't need the NDT if you just trade the automated system. So it's a completely different system. Hey, Len. No, it was 19,000 and it was 6 weeks, Len. I just want to be clear on that. I don't want to take credit for more money over a period of time than we're entitled to. The 19,000 was accrued with only 2 contracts. Now that is an absolute fact. I went over it with Sergio 100 times. It was 1 contract that I call anchoring the trade, bring the stop up, and it only ran with 1 contract. And it's really accumulated that profit. I can show you again, bring it over from 12/1 to 1/13, really 1/12. So you're looking at about 6 weeks of actual trading data. And that is our honest to God number. Hey, S. Grove, it runs on it. The platform is NinjaTrader 8. If you don't have it, we can help you download it, configure it, and learn how to use it. It's really very simple, and you're not going to have much to learn if you just want to auto trade. If you want to trade on a discretionary basis, you will have the ability to. You're going to be in a live trading room for a long time. I mean, 90 days is a lot of time to just listen to me throw out trades. And I'm telling you, we're looking at, I would be really surprised. Obviously, I can't guarantee anything. I don't want to go on record as being guaranteeing profit to any degree, because, I could have a terrible day. But we're on a trajectory for a $3,000 week. I mean, if you traded discretionarily, you'd pay for the system almost times 2 or times 1.5 just by taking the trades I call. So, and that's a fact. I'm just telling you. Hey, Vic, is Discord access included? No. It's included. And it's life. And the trading room is 3 months for free. After the 3rd month, on the 4th month, we will send you an email, tell you that the 3 months is up, and give you the opportunity to stay in the room at half price. But that's 90 days out. I'd be willing to bet you stay, because we have over 500 traders in that room, and most of them came aboard on a free trial. On a free when they bought the software, and then just stayed on. But it's up to you. Totally up to you. Hey, Kai, what trading strategy tools are using the NDT or don't? That's when Kai, when I trade and when I take a trade, and hang on 1 second, I'm gonna show it to you. I don't want to go too far off base here, but hold on, if you'll hang on 1 second. For some reason, it won't let me do it. Sergio must have pulled a fast one on me here. I can't bring the NDT up. The NDT is really our answer to this. But we don't use this to trade. We don't want to go near this thing. We use a different execution tool to take our trades. I don't like to use this. I have to jump around trying to find the buy stop and the sell stop level. I have to run in and take the trades. The NDT eliminates the Superdome, and we don't use it. Now, it used to look just like the Superdome, only NinjaTrader sent us a letter and we're going to sue us for copyright infringement. So we had to get rid of the ladder. But all the relevant components that make it better to use as an execution tool than the dome are still present. They couldn't take those away from us, but they took the ladder away from us. So it's a tremendously powerful tool for discretionary trading, especially in a really fast market. Like the NQ today in some places moved like a rocket ship. And I could only get those trades with the NDT. Yell it about, fire up close, sell it down close, Just hit your button, trade's executed. Well, John, Rory, would you write down that Sergio needs to call John D? Okay, John, we put you on our hot list. I promise you, Sergio will call you tomorrow. Hey, Therese, it seems that the results depend on what computer the order was traded on. Listen, your internet speed obviously needs to be fast. If you're, listen, this is your career that you're using, that you're trading. So you're going to get, now remember, you don't need tremendous speed because the software is housed on your computer. Now we had a version that was housed on a central server, which really didn't work. And the reason it didn't was because of the latency. That's the speed. Now the software is housed on your computer. So it really is not a major relevant issue, but if you're a professional trader, you want the fastest internet speed possible anyway, because the trade still has to be sent to your broker. That's where you have latency. The execution's instantaneous, but then it's got to reach NinjaTrade or brokerage. So if you're going to be a professional trader, you have to pay for the fastest speed that you can. I told you we have Comcast business class. It's quite fast. Sometimes it goes out and we have a lightning storm or we have a major downfall, but it happens. Hey, Yulut, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Can you show the live chart? Sure. Now it's not live anymore because the market's closed, but this is the live chart. I mean, this is what the system is trading off of. Now, a lot of the indicator analysis is inside the system itself. It is not visible, but this is what we put up at a bare minimum so we can see the execution of the trades. Okay. Not just the NASDAQ. Obviously, others are different. If you already own the indicators, Charles, you would get the auto at a substantial discount. Hey, Dan, can we instruct the system to only? Absolutely. You can absolutely. We can show you how to configure the system so it will only trade certain periods of time. That is absolutely. It's very, in fact, it's super easy to do. And Rory and or Sergio, if you come aboard, we'll show you how to set the times up you want it to trade, for sure. And it will trade those times every single day. In addition, it can also be programmed to step aside when there's major economic news. Like you don't want it to trade crude inventory, because crude inventory, sometimes crude goes ballistic on the Fed minute. Sometimes the index equities go crazy. So there's certain times when you don't want the auto system to trade. Now, sometimes it takes gigantic winners on Fed minutes. It's totally up to you, but you can also program above and beyond, let's say 7 a.m. to 10:30, 11:30 a.m., additional periods of time within the period of time that you wanted to trade, periods of time where you wanted to stop trading if you believe that economic news will decrease the predictive value of an entry. And something we've looked at, it's very, very hard to tell. I mean, it gets some monster winners on economic news. And sometimes it still only gets fairly small losers. So it may be advantageous to let it run, but you set the times that it's going to run. That's totally up to you. Hey, Jeff. It doesn't trade the E-mini now, but that's our next market. I mean, we absolutely need it on the E-mini, and we will be rolling out the E-mini very, very shortly. Sergio is working hard on it, and I mean, I want an E-mini trader. I mean, it's a great market to trade, and when it sets up and you get a 2 or 3 or 4 point move, that's a very, very nice trade. And the E-mini is not that volatile, you know, I mean, compared to the NASDAQ and the Russell. And we need a low volatility instrument, and we are working hard on the E-mini. We're not far from releasing it. Hey, Dan, does it close out trades the same day? No, it never holds overnight. At 3:30, well, remember, you're going to specify the trading times. So let's say you want to trade the whole session. You're going to trade from 9:30 Eastern to 4 Eastern. At 4 Eastern, the system will close out any open trades and just shut it down. I mean, I recommend that you have the system shut down at 3:30, but it will automatically close out your positions. It will never hold them overnight unless you specify a 24/7 trading schedule. That's totally up to you. But if you're 9:30 to 4 o'clock, system shuts down and it closes your positions for you, hopefully at a profit. Hey, Tom, on your live trading graph showing 19K in 73 days, what markets and when was it on and off? Well, let me tell you, I wasn't going to bring it up, but I'll tell you. That was trading the markets that I've crude, gold, NASDAQ, Russell, on both the conservative and aggressive strategy. Now, I didn't want to throw this in because I didn't want people to think that I was being manipulative. But the fact is we let it run all day. We let it run from session beginning to session end. And really, I think the equity curve could have been substantially higher. And I was just talking to Rory about this right before I gave this webinar. And I just said, you know, I'm not even going to bring it up because traders are going to think that I'm just, you know, BSing them. But the fact is, I mean, just yesterday, the system accrued 3,000 in profit. And I told everyone to shut it down. I left mine on and it finished at 2,300. So I gave back $700. So by leaving it on the whole session, it really did not do any great service. The best times still to trade are from 9:30 to 11:30, 9:30 to 12:30. Then if you want to restart it, you can do that automatically. Start it at say 2:30 in the afternoon and trade to say 3:30, quarter to 4, but eliminate that afternoon. So that equity curve is based on a full day of trading. And I'm telling you that equity curve would have been better if we would have shut it down just arbitrarily at a period where it accrued a lot of money. Hey, Charles, my pleasure. Hey, Dan, does it do better in Listen, we have never used it on Forex. I want to be honest with you. We have never optimized it on stocks. I think it's going to do awesome on Forex because the Forex markets are really pretty uniform. And I think once we get one Forex currency pair optimized with very, very little changes, you're going to be able to use it on every currency pair. So we're moving to these markets, trust me. I mean, we want to be able to give you the ability to trade 12, 13, 14 markets, and then we're going to move to the high volatility, high beta stocks like Google, like Amazon. Now, you need a lot of money to trade them, but what we can do is create a visual signal, and maybe you can trade it with an option. But we're going to look at high betas. That's the problem with stocks, is that the best entries and the ones that come the most often are the most expensive. But we are going to optimize it on stocks. But that takes a lot of work each stock. I mean, every stock is very, very different. So going from stock to stock is going to take time. Forex currency, the currency pair is easy. We're already moving through all the futures. And let me tell you, we're going to go to cryptos. I mean, I want to trade certain cryptos. We own 4 altcoins in the trading room, and we're holding them we're on long-term holds for those altcoins. And I want to get optimal entries. It already trades Bitcoin. If you want to auto trade Bitcoin, you can. You can trade the micro Bitcoin or the full Bitcoin, and it does really well on Bitcoin. And I'll just tell you, I don't want to run this out too much. It doesn't get many Bitcoin trades, but man, does it get a lot of Bitcoin winners. And that's all that matters. If you get 1 Bitcoin trade a week and it's a winner, you make a lot of loot. But you need a lot of margin in your trading account to trade a full Bitcoin contract. So you know that. Hey, David, haven't received anything for my auto in a while. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of upgrades. Hey, Rory, make sure David gets all the upgrades for the auto. David L. Okay, David, you're going to get them tomorrow. Hey, Vic, thank you. Thank you. Hey, Colin, is stop loss accumulative overall auto? Oh, of course. I'm not sure exactly what you mean, Colin, but listen, if the trade is going to fail, you know, the system is going to take the trade out at a certain point, and it's going to go from unrealized loss to realized loss. And obviously that's going to offset any profits you have. Losing trades is obviously part of the game. All that matters, though, at the end of the day, is your equity curve is positive overall. I'm not exactly. It's it's cumulative, Colin. Your losses. I mean, when you set a stop loss, a loss limit, that's cumulative. It is not on each one. Okay. Does it manage it manages everything, Dan. It sets the entry, it sets the targets, and it sets the way the trade matures and how far it's going to let it run. And it does it off of a momentum analysis. And as long as momentum is carrying the trade forward, and I've told you that's a leading analysis. And as long as momentum is positive, it's going to let the trade run. And it does so without any fear or greed. And then when momentum turns, it's going to close the trade for you. So you do not have to touch anything. In fact, I think if you do interfere with it, you can obviously override the system anytime you want. You can hit just flatten, and it will close out every trade. The auto trader trade. I think by interfering, you're going to degrade the equity curve. I mean, that's my gut feeling. Every time I do that on a discretionary basis in the live trading room, I step in and don't let the trade mature off of momentum. I always blow the trade. I'm telling you, I leave more money on the table by meddling with the trade. And sometimes it's very painful to me, I have to tell you. It's not included, Dale, but if you have the Unorenco system, you're going to get a significant discount. I mean, this was too much programming, and it really is a unique system. So it isn't free, and it's not included. We didn't even have it available when we created the other system. But you will get a price that's less than $17.97, substantially less, because you've already made a substantial payment. Hey, Charles. Like I said, it works great on the micros. You're just going to get obviously less risk, less money. That's all. But I'll tell you, I have tons of traders on a discretionary basis trading the micros. They're happy with $50, $60, $70 a day. That's equivalent to $500, $600, $700 a day on very, very tiny risk. And this will trade the micros fine. Hey, Vic. Hey, thank you so much, John. I appreciate it. Okay. No, yeah, listen, Kai, when we have this, when we roll out the E-mini, which is going to be very shortly, you'll be able to trade the micro E-minis too. The micros are absolutely included. Micros also work on gold and crude. You can also trade the crude and gold micros. Okay, Bob, I'm glad you're in. Okay, Scott. It's optimized for Russell, NASDAQ, gold, and crude on both the conservative and aggressive strategies. We will be rolling out the E-mini, I would say within a week to 10 days. So that will add an additional market. After that, we're going to go after the Dow, and we're going to go after the Dow and the E-mini. And then we'll have all the index equities. And then we're going to start moving to the 6E, the DAX. If you want, I mean, the 6E is great at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry, the DAX. The European Open, man, that's one of the German markets. It really moves. And at 12.5 euros a tick, it's very lucrative. You get a runner on the DAX when you wake up in the morning, you're done for the day. I'm telling you. I mean, when my son was a lot younger, I used to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning at a live trading room at 2 a.m. Eastern, and I could do it for about a year and a half, and then I just ran out of gas. But we used to trade the DAX every day, and it's a rugged instrument, tremendous volatility. But if you can grab it and drag it down, it pays you a lot of money. Your broker will convert the euros to dollars, and it's a great conversion because I don't know what the exchange rate is right now. But when I traded it about 2 or 3 years ago, it was a great exchange rate. I don't know what it is now, but I know a euro is worth a lot more than a buck. Hey, John. Rory, John D cannot get into the members area. Would you also check that? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to be finishing up pretty soon here. Yes, you can, Charles. And Charles asked into Discord. Charles, you already got it. It's in your email. Hey, Kai, can you execute the orders first on? Of course you can, Kai. You set in the system the markets. You set the account you want to trade. You want a paper trade on Sim? You absolutely can. You want a lot? I can show you the input, but we're going to go over all the inputs with you. You can absolutely do that. No problem with that. And in fact, I recommend it for the first couple of days, just so you have confidence in the system. And I'm telling you, I don't think it's going to disappoint you. Hey, Kai, with VPN, you would still need to leave the power on. I don't know if Rory, does a VPN, if your electricity, here's what you need to do, Kai. What you need to do, and this is just standard, if you want to be a professional trader, you need to get one of those batteries. I know you've seen them. You can get them off. The best place to get them is Newegg, Newegg, and they're fully charged. So if your electricity goes off, the backup battery system, I mean, I have like 4 of them that are attached to my computer, my monitors, everything. They will run the system. My concern, Kai, is that my internet connection goes out, like a lightning strike does something. I mean, I'm in South Florida. I mean, we have some pretty wicked storms here, so that's my concern. It's not so much for my electricity; it's for my internet connection. And to sit there without an internet, and I mean, then you're going to have to call up the broker and have them flatten the trade. and it's going to take you time. You're on a VPN, you are fine. The fact that your internet is down is no big deal. You can't take another trade, but the one that's evolving will evolve with stops and targets intact. Hopefully you'll make a lot of money on the trade, and then you can worry about your internet connection. So the electricity, you have to take care of in your office. And I really do recommend that you have the backup, those backup battery. Can't tell you how many times that has saved us, where our electricity goes out. In Florida, South Florida, I mean, it doesn't take a big storm to knock out our electricity. I'll tell you that. My pleasure, Charles. Hey, Kai, if you have the VPN turned off, but left on with phone, it will be okay. Well, let me tell you, Kai, you can actually run, you know, if you have an iPhone 13, it has such powerful, it has such a powerful Bluetooth that you can actually create a hotspot and actually drive your whole computer off your phone. That's what I do. Like if my internet connection goes out, you know, I'm on T-Mobile, I just turn my hotspot on and I just change the internet connection from Comcast to my hotspot, and I run the whole system off of my phone. But you need a 12 or a 13 for that. An 11 will not do it or less, but a 12 or a 13, you can run your whole platform off your phone if perchance your internet connection goes down. And you can use that to replace a virtual private network. Just be fast with it and get it on, and it shouldn't take you more than 10 seconds to turn on your hotspot. I didn't, you know, I didn't think of it, but we've done it many times here. The 13 has one killer date. I mean, it like sucks up all the data from the computer. It drives everything. I mean, you can trade with a 13. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it every day, but if you need to, you can trade the whole day off of the hotspot on an iPhone 13 and a 12. Hey, Dan, how would we know when you have a new version of Money Flow us to download? I have the same question. How do I know? Usually Rory has a list, Dan, and he sends it out to everybody. Now, I can't say that we're 100%, and we may miss you, but ordinarily we get about 95 to 98% of everyone. We just send these upgrades out automatically. You don't have to be attached to us at the hip. We want you to have them because you know, if you're entitled to them, believe me, we want to do everything we can to get them to you. So you know, Rory has all these elegant spreadsheets and data, you know, data things, so that to make sure that everybody who's entitled gets. No, it's not a lifetime for the room, Dan. The room is 3 months, 90 days free. On the 4th month, if you want to stay, you're going to have to pay a nominal fee. It's about 125 bucks. And believe me, if you want to trade on a discretionary basis, I think you will really enjoy my trading. I really do. And the traders in the room are also, I've got some stellar traders in there. So I think you'll find it worth your while. After we finish trading, I go over every trade I take. I go over all the auto trader results. If we finish early, I do an hour or more of teaching. I answer every question. I really bring you up to speed. And I'm telling you, it's very, very educational. It's not just to help you with your trading, but it's also to provide you with a lot of educational support. I mean, you know, I'm a former professor, and I had to leave Jefferson because of my son. But my first calling, and the one that I wanted to be in for my life, was really to be a teacher at the university level. I just couldn't stay at Jefferson. I had to leave Philadelphia and come down to Florida to take care of my at that time, my little boy. And obviously that was more important to me than anything. I have the software, but I don't have the Discord. Daniel, Rory, I'm sorry to keep throwing these, but Daniel T also needs a Discord link. Yep. Okay, Daniel, Rory will make sure you get it. This is the NDT, Robert, like I said, is our way of removing this dome. I don't ever want to trade this dome again. I haven't traded it in like 3 or 4 years, and I don't want to look at it. What I do is I trade the NDT. That's our Ninja Dome trading platform. I never should have put that N in there and used the word ninja. It brought them down on my head. Now we just call it the NDT. So, I mean, I have to tell you, Ninja Trader does not love me, but they certainly love our accounts. And the broker that we work with is a super nice guy. And he will get you great round trips. Okay, Charles, just want to make everything really clear. What would be the additional cost if you already have the Compass Lifetime? You know what, Kai, I don't want to give the price out in the room, but it's going to be very, very modest if you already have the Compass or you already have the money flow tracker. I'll just tell you that right now. If you've already made that investment, it's just the way our company is. We're not going to take a huge amount of additional money from you. You're going to get a really, really nice discount for that. Hey, Larry. I tell you, we don't have a name for it yet. I mean, I'm telling you, we don't. I mean, I refer to it as the automated system. I don't have a name, but I promise you, we'll name it something. And but you're going to get, right now it's the self-directed auto trader, and I swear to God, I haven't thought of a name yet, but we will have one. But I can't remember that something by any other name is still a whatever. And I mean, that it's a system that we really don't have sort of it's not a boomerang trade. It's not an echo trade. It's not a landslide trade. I haven't just thought of it yet. I really haven't. Hey, Derek, do you know if living in Canada makes any difference? Does not make any difference, Derek. Makes no difference whatsoever. Remember, the software is housed on your computer. So it doesn't matter. If we had a central server like we did 4 years ago, it would make a huge difference. But now the system's operational on your computer, so the latency period is eliminated. Hey, Dan, I use TradeStation, TradingView, Thinkorswim, and Tastyworks. I'm a bit concerned about stretching myself thin by adding NinjaTrader. That's why I hesitate. Do you have any other products? I have the Compass. See, we don't have any other auto trading system, Dan. And remember just one other thing. This is not a system you have to watch. It's a system that you turn on and you leave alone. So obviously it is a bit of an inconvenience and a pain to add another platform, but it's not a platform you're going to be trading. Now, it is a platform you're going to be watching when you come into the live trading room. And I'm telling you, we may get such wonderful trades, and you may see a trading performance so good that I may make you a born again Ninja Trader guy. You just never know. I mean, we do really well. In December, we made $12,000 in the live trading room. So, I would leave your options open. But I think all the platforms we're on now are awesome platforms. I've used TradeStation extensively. We're on Thinkorswim now. I think TradingView is great and Tastyworks is great. I can't tell you to drop anything because they're all good platforms. But on the discretionary, auto trading, I just may be able to make you a convert. Hey, Paul K. will I get for my Paul? Okay, all righty. I'm gonna finish. Let's see. Does the market maker see the auto stops and of course, well, they do, Colin. You can't prevent the market makers from seeing it. I mean, there's no way you can hide those. I mean, when targets and stops are in, they always see them. I mean, it doesn't matter. Remember, once the trade is executed and goes to your broker, the broker does not know whether it was an automated trade or you hit a mouse. It's just treated like any other trade. So you can't hide. These trades can't be hidden from market makers. I wish they could be. Let me tell you, but you just can't. I mean, that's not a system dependent variable. It's just a market dependent one. I thank you, Daniel. And Daniel says, thank you. You're always honest. And that's what I want to be. I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. I want to underpromise and overdeliver. And that's really what I always try to do. I try to keep things modest and then make you really happy, then show you a $5 million equity curve that you're never going to get even get close. Hey, Robert, will the auto trader send an email or text alert? It will not. It just can't, Robert. You're going to have to watch it. But remember, it's got all those safeguards so that if it hits your loss limit, it will shut down. If it hits your profit target, it's going to shut down. But remember, I mean, there's no way for an email system to know that a trade's been engaged and shoot that out to you automatically. We already have we have a full-time options trader who's on the Compass system. We have an options trading room that goes from 9:30 Eastern, 9:30 in the morning Eastern to 4 p.m. Eastern. And he copies and pastes his trades into our text messaging system. These markets move but he trades options. These markets move so fast that by the time you receive the email or the text, the trade would probably be over. So you're going to have to stay, tuned in if you don't trust the system to close you out at a profit level or close you out at a loss limit. Hey, Donovan. Okay, Donovan, ask Rory for Discord. Okay, Dan. You know what, Dan? I wanted to show you the NDT, but for some reason, I don't know what Sergio did. I can't engage it. Let me see. Let me try to turn it on. I want you to see one. And for some reason, I can't hit that button. And I don't know why. Hey, Rory, can you come in for a minute? Can you figure out why I can't bring up an NDT? What's that? Rory's going to come and give me a little help here. I mean, I should just be able to hit the strategy and hit and click it, and it should come right up. And I just don't know why it's not. And I don't know what Sergio did to the whole system, and it's not here. Just take a look, Rory, really quick. I can't put a check in here.
You gotta connect the data.
Okay, hang on. You're right. Right?
Continue.
Oh yeah. All right, hang on. We're in the process of doing it. I didn't realize it, but we weren't connected to Continuum. Now I'll bring one up for you. Hang on. Here it goes. Why don't you come up right in front of the slides?
Check a few of them.
What's that?
Check a few of them, because some of them won't.
All right, I'm gonna check a few of them, and we'll get what we'll get them to come up.
One of them come.
So far, nothing's come up. I don't see him, Rory.
It's still loading. It's still connecting.
Okay, you know what it is? It's still connecting. You see how these charts are spinning? Wait till the whole system connects, and then the charts will load. See, one by one on the bottom edge, they're popping up. The NDT should start to load. I still don't see them. They should be up.
Takes a minute or two.
All right, hang on just 1 minute. I mean, I wasn't planning on doing this. See this, the NQ chart, some of these charts still aren't loaded, and the NDT will not come up until the charts, until the whole system's fully loaded. It takes a few minutes to load the whole system. Remember, it's looking at multiple time frames. I didn't go into a lot of detail, but it's also looking at multiple markets. So it's going to take a little bit of time to load. And if I can't get it up, I'm just going to throw my hands up and still don't see anything. We still have those charts loading. I don't know why it's taking so long to load. I'm going to drop. There we go. They're coming in. There it is. There's the NDT. Here's one of them right here. And I hope now they're all coming in. See, that's what we trade off of. We buy it up close, we sell it down close. It's got a unique trailing stop. That line change is our exit on changing momentum. So it has its own trailer that's extremely unique. We've been waiting for 3 years on a patent. It's been sent back 3 times for revision to the patent office. This is what I used to trade off of, and you can have one for every market or one for each market. If you just go down here, there are all the markets, and these are the ATM strategies on the discretionary system. So that's what I trade off of. That's the NDT. So I don't have to trade off the dome. So if I want to buy an up close, I just hit that button, and when the candle closes to the upside, it's going to execute my trade. It's going to execute my trade. Okay. Took a little bit, but I got it to you. My problem. Listen, my pleasure, Dan. And Dan, if you want the NDT, we can work out. You talk to Rory. Okay. Hey, Kai. Nope. Okay. I'm gonna sort of close up here. I would like to enter trades between 9 and 11, but the open trades keep running. That, you know what? That is not a problem, Dan. Sergio will show you how to configure that. Okay. If you want the system to run from 9 to 11, but not have it shut down open trades, he can configure that for you, Dan. And that is eminently doable because it's not the end of the trading day. That's why that can be done. Okay. I have to close really because Rory's getting ready to run. Rory is sending me the link for the discount. Okay, great, Tom. It's great to have you aboard. You don't need power to run a VPN. Thank you, Thomas. You see, Rory handles the VPN and I don't, so he knows more than I do. Will it send text alerts? It will not. It doesn't. It just doesn't, Dan. And I want you to know we are working on multiple additional markets, but the text alerts is just not something that we're. I don't want to mislead you again. I want to always tell you the truth, and that's not something that is a huge priority, because what's a priority to me is getting this thing trading on the E-mini, the Dow, the 6E, the DAX, and Forex. And then we can always double back and get those. Okay, you got it, Charles. I know you're completely right. I just really want to move through it. I am a retiring dean of technology, engineering, and math. I appreciate your passion and commitment. No, listen, I went to the University of Pennsylvania. I majored in applied mathematics, and I did mathematical modeling for the U.S. Navy. I mean, it's the only reason that this system is as powerful as it is, and it's as effective as it is. I mean, I don't think there's anybody you could have probably engineered it, Dan, but there's very, very few people out there that could have done it. Hey, Dwayne, it's not available for TOS, Dwayne. It's only available for NinjaTrader 8, the NDT. We are working to get it on Thinkorswim. It's still a ways away. Thinkorswim makes it very difficult for us to interfere with their trading platform, but we can, and Sergio's going to do it. I just got so many things on this poor guy's desk that he's going to have a heart attack and keel over and die if I put any more on him. He's already lost all his hair. He's like 35 years old. I just can't do any more. But we're going to get it on Thinkorswim, Dwayne. It's just going to be a while. I mean, this poor, this poor guy. I mean, I feel like I beat him with a wet noodle every day. Okay, I don't want to mention that in the room, Patrick. It's too political. Or RLT Autobot. I like that. Yes, I like that. Hey, Dan, can we use the free version of Ninja? Actually, listen, you can't use the free version because the free version won't trade, Dan. You can use it to paper trade the system, but the free version will not actually take a trade that will execute live. That's the problem. I mean, you can buy a 3-month. It's only 100 some odd bucks. And like I said, we'll configure the whole platform for you. Sergio will download it. He'll set it up. He'll do everything. And he'll have the automated system running on your NinjaTrader for you. And you don't have to lift a finger. I mean, all you have to do is but to trade it, you need a live account. Okay? No problem, Dan. I wanted you to see it. I mean, it's really one of the best trading tools we have. And almost everyone in the trading room uses it. So much easier to trade than the standard DOM. Hey, LA. Thanks for this explanation. I spoke to Rory, and I'm moving to 8 and joining. Thank you so much, LA. Really, thank you. Hey, David. To send email from a strategy, how can manipulate? I'm not sure, David. I'm just going to skip that because we're running so late. I'm sorry, David. If we got Speedy Server VPN, they have 24/7 operations with unlimited. They're really great, Dan. That's what we like. We love those guys. All right, listen, everyone. Thank you so much for giving me your time. I really appreciate it. I mean, all the representations I made are honest, and we are going to be moving to multiple other markets. And I anticipate a great equity curve. Obviously, if I could guarantee it, I would also be able to walk on water, and I can't. But we've given this system an enormous amount of time, effort, and babying, and we have waited to release it, and it is creating a positive equity curve, a really nice one now, and I don't anticipate that's going to change. We tweak it every 30 days because no automated system is going to be able to function in every market environment without little tweaks, without little modifications. So that's our mantra, and that's what we're going to do. Only 4? Okay, so we only have 4 left. We got 6 orders. So if you're thinking about it, give it a shot. Like I said, I'm going to be there with you every single morning in the trading room. And I hope on the discretionary level, I hope, no guarantee, you're going to pay for this 15 times over in the 3 months you're going to be in the room. And if I could guarantee that, I'd also walk on water, but obviously it is my intention. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I thank you so much for giving me your time. I know it's valuable. I really appreciate it. Take care, everyone. Stay safe from whatever COVID mutation is out there. Whatever monsters crawling around in the Ethernet, and best of luck in trading, and stay healthy, and really best wishes to you and your family. Thank you, Esgrove. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.